Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about the Georgia driver's education laws, expectations. We're comparing Georgia, basically what's going on in America versus other countries. This is a comparison. If you don't know, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. Let's go ahead and get it. There's just some frequently asked questions that I have. Next, what is the difference between driver's education and driver's training? These two terms are frequently interchangeable but refer to the same course. Driver's education is a structured training program. Well, you will go if you're under 18 years of age. You'll take your lessons. This is part of the curriculum, whether it's 24 hours of class, 30 hours, 40 hours, 50 hours. You will come in daily for 2 hours. You'll see slides, you'll have PowerPoints, then you'll take notes. You'll learn the rules of the road, the different expectations that you have to deal with. When you understand those rules and expectations, at the end of the course, you'll take a knowledge test. This knowledge test will assess your ability to understand pavement markings, rules of the right of way, how to merge on the expressway. If you pass your test, which you should, then you will get a permit. And different states have different rules and expectations. So we're talking about Georgia today. I am required to take a driver's education uh, course to obtain my Class D license. This is correct. We're referring to Georgia. If you're under age 18, you will need to show proof of taking a driver's education course, which is normal. These courses must be approved by the Georgia Department of Education. If you're in Georgia, you'll have to have 40 hours of supervised driving. Every state is different. My location, you need 30 hours of supervised driving over 3 months. And basically, what it is an hour and a half per week. So your parent, your caregiver needs to make time so you can get your hours in, which is extremely important. A total of 40 hours of supervised driving, 6 hours of driving must be at night. Night driving is more dangerous than day driving. It's hard to see on the road, it's hard to distinguish things. As an instructor, I like the fact that Georgia has a higher requirement for driving, 40 hours of driving, 6 hours at night. I like that as an instructor. If you have questions, type them in. What is the difference? What is a certified driving education course? A certified driver's education course is a course approved by DDS. Driver education courses not approved by the DDS cannot be used for the purposes of a driver's education obtaining a Class D license or permit by the Georgia driver's license. A full list of DDS certified driver's education schools may be found. More and more cities, states are putting their information online. If I lived in Georgia and I wanted to start a driver's education school, I would have to meet those requirements. I would have to take a Georgia's education driver's education course. I would have to pass that course to show mastery. Then I would have to apply for another license or endorsement to actually teach and structure an adult or teen course in the state of Georgia. Every state wants you to learn their curriculum, their way. Texas is different than Georgia. Georgia is different than Michigan. Michigan is different than California. So you need to master those skills if you want to obtain a legal driver's license. How is driver's education structured in Georgia? Well, we're going to learn about that. I'll come back to that question. What is 30 and 6 driver's education course? 30 and 6 education courses are traditional courses considered to at least have 30 hours of classroom instruction. That's what I do. I would teach a course over a 3-week period. The course could be 7:30 to 9:30, 3:30 to 5:30, 4 to 6. It's a 2-hour course in a classroom environment and 6 hours behind the wheel. Conducted by a DDS certified instructor that coaches the student and observes his or her driving performance. That's exactly what I do. I evaluate students, I evaluate adults, I give them feedback on what you need to work on, what you need to do, how you need to improve. And once I see you master that, then we go on to the next one. Am I ready to apply for my Class D driver's license? What is the supervised training and how do I need a log? A supervised training is just what it is. It is someone over 21 years old who is considered an adult driver who will be observing you, sitting by you in the passenger seat, giving you feedback, helping you, guiding you so we don't have young drivers crashing. Supervised drivers refer to driving experiences obtained under a supervised supervision of an individual. The individual must be at least 21 years old, possess an unexpired Class C driver's license, seated next to the driver at all times while he or she is driving. You can't stay home and chill while the younger person is out driving. Capable of exercising control. What does this mean? If you're my niece or nephew, you're driving with me, and I see you losing control, I'm able to turn the wheel. So you don't crash, you don't wreck my car, and you have a good experience. No logs are required for supervised driving. For me as an instructor, that's a way where it can be abused because we know people are not going to be 100% honest. If you care about your niece or nephew, you want to have someone who's going to be honest and give you that feedback. Many locations require a logbook. There's also a digital app called Road Ready, ROAD, Ready, READY. You create a user profile, you push a button on your phone, the app comes on, and it measures time. And when you're done, you hit stop. And then this app can be downloaded, looked at a driver's education location to say, hey, you have 55 hours. Wow. Or you have 24. You need to get to 30 or 40 or 50, whatever the requirement is. Okay. They're trying to get away from pencil and paper, but when you go to the DMV, you have an option, you have a logbook. I've seen both. Capable of exercising control over the vehicle. The person who's a co-pilot, you want someone who's reliable, trustworthy, you have a good experience with your niece or nephew. It varies. Whoever's in the front seat is the co-pilot. If you just popped in, we're talking about Georgia's driver's education laws versus other states. I have some students from Georgia. They wanted me to discuss this. So I said, hey, this is a great opportunity to develop a maturation process to learn about Georgia. Next, that the applicant receive 40 hours to supervise driving and 6 hours at night. For me as an instructor, I feel like people may abuse that because my uncle's too busy. My mom's too busy. My dad's too busy. He always comes home. He always says, no, you can't drive. I'm tired. Leave me alone. Your mom, honey, go talk to your dad. So your mom and dad play a game. You want to learn how to drive. You don't get your hours in. The next segment is coming. You see where I'm going with this. You don't have the necessary hours. And typically that happens. Can I take driver's education online? The answer is yes, you can. Typically, what has happened, this is post-COVID, and this happened to me as an instructor, so I'm sharing my experience. Prior to COVID, I was in class in a physical building in a school, third party company coming in, renting a room, paying a fee every month. Students would sign up. I would have a class of 36. I would drive 26. My backup instructor would drive 10. 26 and 10 are 36. That's over 100 hours of driving. That's a lot of driving. You have to schedule drives. You have to fill out attendance. You have to do the scheduled activities day 1 through day 12. It's a lot of work. And you have to get the driver's education certificates prior to a lot of driver's ed companies updating and going to a digital system, which is much more effective. In my state, it's called CARS. It may vary in different states because pieces of paper can get lost. A completed driver's certificate can get lost. So more states are going to a digital system, which I like. We want to see a digital test in the next few years. I'm hoping that states go toward a digital test, which is locked and secured. When it's time for you to take your test, you will log into your device. As an instructor, I will probably get a master list. I would be able to observe students, and if I see any irregularities, I would cancel that. And once it's done, it would automatically upload to the state, going into your digital file. That is coming soon, and it saves time. It gets the certificates, the completion certificates to the clients immediately. That's what I like. Right now, I have to hand check the test. I have a key. They've got to be put in the envelope. Luckily, the main corporate headquarters is not that far from me. I drive over there. I drop them off in the mailbox. You see where I'm going with this. So digital is the way to go. And with a digital system, the kids or adults can take this test. It can be scanned, uploaded to your file, and within minutes, instead of weeks, it's days, you will get your results. So I see that happening in the future. Come on, states, let's get on board. So the question is, can I take a driver's education course online? The answer is yes. The 30-hour requirement can be part of a driver's education course, may be taken online. More states are offering the online component. Why? It's convenient. You can take it in your family room, in your kitchen table, I as instructor, in the studio. I can go over the information, be interactive, go through the units, take attendance. So I'm doing that already. But there's still a paper component where the last day of class, they have to come in and I physically see them. We take the test. I grade the test right in front of you, pass or fail, keep fingers crossed, you pass, and then we move forward. A completed list of DDS-approved online driver training schools may be found on our website. Please note that online providers may have different types of traffic safety courses. Every state is different. Let's pretend I have DDS driving school. I could have the Georgia State requirements. Mine could go higher than the Georgia State requirements. Mine could be lower than the Georgia State requirements. It just depends on how thorough I want to be as a official driver's education school. I would go above the state requirements. I would have more interactive activities, Kahoot, Quizlet, to really make the class interactive. It just depends on how you want to package your program. They may also be approved in other states outside of Georgia. So that's good for people who do move. To be sure to register for the course that meets the Joshua Law, and we'll go over Joshua's Law, as well as teens under the age of 18. So if you're under 18, the law's a little bit different. Next. I signed up for an online course, but I lost my username and password. Can DDS provide my lost password? Unfortunately, no. DDS is the state of Georgia's certified program. Let's pretend I'm in Georgia. I'm a third-party entity. I've set up my virtual classroom. We take the class online. Once a month, I fly to Georgia. I drive to Georgia. Then I have third-party employees there who drive. I just do the online version. So it varies. You can package it different ways. Unfortunately, DDS does not have access. You will need to contact the online course directly. So a lot of students do lose their passwords. It happened a lot during COVID. I think COVID was a good proving ground to allow driver's ed companies to see how thorough they are. Some fell horribly on their face, some did well. School districts across the country shut down. They were hundreds, if not thousands, of students who were left out. And a lot of driver's ed students, a lot of the states are slowly getting out of the driver's education program where you would go into the DMV, and then they would test you. We're third parties. We have the cars, we have the curriculum. We would mail in everything, and then you would go to the DMV and they would print it out, or I would print it out. It just varies. Well, I get a reduction in automotive insurance? That's another great question. A lot of people ask that question. Here's what happens. It depends on your state. It depends on your insurance provider. Some states will give you a break until you have a licensed driver. Some states, as soon as you get your permit, you're on your parents' insurance and the rates go up. Why? Because teen drivers have a higher incident of crashes. The first 90 days are the most dangerous. So if you're a teen watching this, you're a parent watching this, your rates can and will go up. If your son or daughter has an at-fault crash, expect your rates to go up. Typically, it's about 30%, but it varies from insurance provider to insurance provider, so you need to check that. Also, if you have good grades, they may offer a good grade discount, so you need to talk to your insurance provider and ask a lot of questions. Georgia law requires and allows insurance companies to offer reductions in automotive insurance to customers that complete a driver's education course. So you get a discount. That's always good. We recommend that you speak to your insurance agent. Parents, I'm a parent too. We never have the time to do anything. We go to work, we come home, we go to work, we come home, we get groceries, we come home, we go shopping, we come home. So we kind of in that routine. Take the time out to go talk to your insurance agent, set up a Zoom meeting. Hey, my daughter is going to be finishing driver's ed. What do I need to do as a parent to get her on our insurance? Well, you need to do A, B, and C. You need to do 1, 2, and 3. So once you get those things, you're good. Our driver's education agents, instructors, employees of DDS. Driver's education instructors are employees of the school where they teach. I've taught at many different schools before. I've taught driver's ed at different schools. I'm actually an employee of that district, 1099 form. I'm an independent contractor. So independent contractors have different rules and guidelines and regulations. What you need to do is verify, do you work in a school? Are you a certified school instructor? Are you a certified state instructor? Do you work for DDS? Ask those questions. At the end of the day, we're kind of all the same. The DDS certified driving instructors are in accordance with the requirements set forth at the DDS rules and regulations and the Georgia Drivers Training School Act. So there are guidelines there. You might have to take a different test. You have to have a background check every 2 years. As part of my certification process, I have to do fingerprints. I have to take a professional development class. They do the background check, professional development class. I upload my test information, my fingerprints, everything goes through and clear. Then I'm recertified. Oh, I'll have to take a physical. They test blood for everything, diabetes, cataracts, vision. I'm good. Then, as a result, I get certified for 2 more years. So every state is different. Where I'm from, 2 years. Does the state of Georgia contact the drivers and instructor schools? Drivers training schools are independently owned and operated. That's what I told you. Every school is different. Every driver's ed school is different. They usually have their own insurance. They have a name on the card. They may have a website because driver's education is always in demand. You, as a teen or an adult, always need driver's ed. So you want to make sure your paperwork is up to date, make sure your insurance is up to date, make sure your instructors are certified. You need to be posting your recertification form because the state may come in and say, hey, I'm going to run an audit. You have 10 instructors. I want to make sure they're all certified. I want to see their certification. I want to make sure they have their physicals. I want to make sure they have clean backgrounds. The state can do that. And I've seen it before, and it's very stressful. Hey, I want to see the last 4 years of driver's education classes from Georgia. They'll go into a room, they'll lock the door, everyone's sweating, and hopefully when it comes out, it's good. What happens if it's not good? You can get a warning, sloppy paperwork, or you could be shut down. It's very serious. What if my child has a driver's education in another state? To get a Class D driver's license, a Georgia driver's education is needed. It must be from a certified driving training school. For parents active in the U.S. military, and out-of-state certification can be used because God bless our people from the military. They travel from location to location every 3 years, 4 years. The certification must be done within 9 months of the child's 16th birthday. So parents, if you have a child who's 15.5, 15.8, you better get that child in there enrolled. What can I do if I experience a problem? You can contact the state driver's education association that your son and daughter is in. I hope you enjoyed this. I love learning new things about Georgia. I kept my promise to my student. I want to say thank you. If you have questions, type them in. Have a great evening. Bye.